All right, we were back with another pick'em video, and how about a 3-0 sweep yesterday to put us on a nice 5-0 run in the past two videos. Gonna try to make that an 8-0 run as I got 3 plays for us in the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Dallas Mavericks, game 2 tonight. Can the Timberwolves tie the series up going back to Dallas, or is Dallas going to take a commanding 2-0 lead? We're going to get into all of that. But yesterday, again, we had Miles Turner over his three-pointers. Didn't look amazing right off the bat, but he did knock him down after missing his first 2 threes. Weird game overall yesterday as, Halliburton gets injured. Carlisle takes their starters out with like 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter, sorry. And yeah, they gave up pretty early as the Celtics kind of pulled away. Weird move. I mean, we were seeing guys that I've never even heard of on the court. I think one guy's name was Kendall Brown or something weird. I don't even know the guy. I've never seen him in my life, and I watch basketball every single day. So weird move by him. But the other guys that cashed for us were Drew Holiday and Obi Toppin. We had them over their points. Even if those lines got bumped, they also cashed. So I hope you guys made some money yesterday, and super excited to get in the picks for today. But if you're new around here, definitely go ahead and subscribe, leave the video a like, and comment something down below, especially if you're cashing the past 2 days over here. I really appreciate it, and it just tells YouTube, hey, push this guy's video out a little bit more. We're having a lot of fun. So let's jump into the desktop screen. Again, we're talking Timberwolves versus Mavericks, and I got PrizePicks pulled up here. If you're not on PrizePicks, check it out so you can tail these plays, but also just a really fun app. As you can see, they got dunk lines right here. They got different kind of lines, three-pointers, attempted three-pointers, made a bunch of different things that not a lot of books have, fantasy scores, and it's a lot of fun, fun way to play DFS and set some lineups and make some money. So use code RichPicks. You'll get a 100% deposit match up to your first $100. And again, it's really fun to bet on things like dunk lines, fantasy scores that you're not going to find a lot of other places. And you can see the guy we're going to right off the bat, someone we went to in game 1. A little bit different here because we're going to his PRA rather than his fantasy score, because his fantasy score got boosted up 2 points. But I just expect, Anthony Edwards, he's got to bounce back at some point. Hasn't had one of those scoring explosions, which we got so accustomed to in that first round series against the Suns. And I think we're, getting ready for it. The boiling point's coming. He was not attacking the rim. I don't know if that's an injury, which I'm a little bit scared of, but I think it was more just tired coming off a long 7-game series against the Denver Nuggets. And Anthony Edwards is due for one of these games. So over 39.5 PRA is going to be our first play. Again, I went to Kyrie and Anthony Edwards the game 1. They both played really well, but Ant just didn't shoot really well, and he wasn't very aggressive, shooting a lot of his shots from the three-point line. And all but one make, I think, for him from the field was from 3. So let's take a look at Anthony Edwards here at 39.5. You're not going to love the past, 6 or 7 games here, but it's also a good sign to me that, hey, he's at up to 39.5 despite these struggles. And again, we know what he was capable of doing in that Phoenix series and in game 1 against Denver. 43, 40 points, 36 points. I'm expecting that he hasn't had more than 27 points in 6 or 7 games here, except for this, 44-point explosion. But again, he's due for one of these games, and I think it's coming soon, especially against a Dallas Mavericks team whose defenses, again, well, give them credit, they've been a lot better in the playoffs, but they're not the best defensive team, definitely nowhere near the Nuggets at their, top notch here. So you can see it in the stats here. Again, regular season versus playoffs, that definitely takes into consideration, but the Mavericks don't have a considerably great defense overall. And Anthony Edwards, he's just got to attack the rim and get going, be a little bit more aggressive on his home court. So I really like this in terms of the head-to-head. We talked about it a lot in our Game 1 video, but this was really the one matchup you can look at, the January 7 matchup. That's when Kyrie and Luka were both healthy. Everyone played a decent amount of minutes, and we had a game. The other 3 matchups, someone was injured, either 2 guys were injured. Mavs sat a lot of different players. So this is the one I'm really looking at, and he had 36 and 10. I really like his rebounding capability in this series, and he's had 11 rebounds and 8 assists in game 1, despite that scoring woe of only 19 points on, again, not very efficient or, a lot of shooting. As you can see, he only shot 16 times, 6 of 16, and a lot of his makes were from 3, 12 attempts from the three-point line in 5 makes. So I think he's got to be more aggressive. He's got to get to the rim, and that could put guys in foul trouble, namely Daniel Gafford, which is going to play into our second pick of today. But all this going into the fact that I really like it. It's a read that I'm taking, personally. I don't love the head-to-head matchup, which we like to go off hit rates sometimes, but it is a good sign that, not only is his line's not been there, and the fact that he got bumped up by a whole point on his PRA, but the books are also liking this. So again, it's not just the hit rates, it's not always just the matchups, it's not always just the history and the hit rates, but it's also into the odds. Average sportsbook has this at 39.7. Now, how is that possible? Well, it's because other sportsbooks, some of these are already at 40.5, like on FanDuel. And Pinnacle, anyone else that's on 39.5, typically favored to go over this 39.5 line, minus 127 on Pinnacle, which is one of the sharper sports books out there. So we're getting a great line on PrizePicks, attacking value on that side. That's a fixed payout system. We'd never want to take, a plus money play on something like PrizePicks. So again, the fact that he hasn't been playing very well, hasn't been scoring very well in the past few games, and these books are on his over PRA, I really like that. And yeah, everything kind of playing into a good play here. So Anthony Edwards can't go wrong to go into a superstar. It looks like Jaden McDaniels just got the star logo on PrizePicks because he's been incredible the past few games. I don't know if I trust it completely enough to go to him, but it's interesting to see that he's the guy that got the star. So Anthony Edwards, 39.5. It's a fun one. He's going to play 40 minutes tonight. I hope we get a good game like we did in game one, and just shoot a little bit better, get to the rim, get a dunk or two in there, and not just jack up threes. So be more aggressive. Anthony Edwards, 39.5 PRA, first play of the day. All right, then moving along to our next pick at the other side of the floor, going to Dereck Lively here. Now, I know we talked about it in game one. There's a lot of potential for foul trouble in this game, especially for the bigs on both sides. The Timberwolves and the Mavericks, both teams that are really, really good at drawing fouls. But at the same time, Gafford continues to start these games. Lively's been getting the edge in terms of the minutes. But if someone's going to get into foul trouble, I think I'm going to roll the dice here and say that it's going to be Gafford. Now, that wasn't a problem in game one. Anthony Edwards wasn't really going to the rim. That's probably part of the reason. But again, Gafford's starting. If the attack starts early, it's going to be Gafford, I think, that gets into that foul trouble, which would just mean a few more minutes for Lively, which is going to play right into our hands. So again, maybe a little bit of a gamble if Lively gets into that foul trouble, if the Timberwolves are a little bit more on the attack at the rim. But I like Lively here at 16.5 PRA. Now, this is also a really good opportunity to show you guys. I'm taking this at 16.5, but the odds on this line have been fluctuating throughout the day, and they continue to fluctuate. 16.5 on PrizePicks, but if you're on a different platform like Underdog, you can get this at 15.5, and that's why it's so important to be on multiple different DFS platforms. I have links in the description of this video. You're going to see my favorite DFS platforms. They're affiliate links. They're going to help me out, but I give it right back to you guys by giving you a free month of my Discord. So if you want to sign up for something like Underdog, for something like Sleeper, which by the way has a $20 completely free play today, go ahead and do that. You're going to get the perks of the 100% deposit matches. I think Underdog gives you a free square when you sign up. It's a really good perk just to get you onto that platform. And in something like my Discord, we're always talking, hey, there's a discount over here on Chalkboard today. Hey, there's a really good boosted play on Sleeper, protected play on Sleeper. We're always looking out for those discounts. And it's not like we play all of these DFS platforms every day, but when they have a free square, when they have a discount, things like that, we're absolutely going to take advantage of that. So yeah, 15.5 for Dereck Lively PRA on Underdog. You definitely want to be able to take it over there rather than on PrizePicks. But at the same time, I do think he can get there, over both of these. So let's go into Dereck Lively here. Just talked about him for a while, but jumping into his Outlier page. Also, while I'm on the spiel here, Outlier, link in the description, check them out. Free week trial. You can't really beat that. They're a tool I use every single day. And again, you guys see how, the interface is awesome, but it also just shows you a ton of data. But here's Dereck Lively. He's been absolutely killing it. All the past 5 Warriors, if you're on PrizePicks and you just look at those past 5 games, it doesn't mean everything. It does not show everything. But for this one, it's looking really good. He's been killing it, and it's not, no surprise because he's been getting the minutes. You see 27, 25, 23, 29, and 26 minutes in those past 5 games. There's no wonder he's been killing this because he's a guy that can rack up stats quickly, and he barely misses shots. The field goal percentage on his shots for the entire year, as I back up a little bit, looking at the whole year, field goal percentage, 72%. Yeah, reading that correctly, 72%. And when you got this guy play, it starts to make sense. He's really only dunking. Luka and Kyrie are the guys that are setting him up. Perfect lob passes, or just finding him with some Luka magic with a nice little dime down low, and he really just has to dunk it home. So I really like Lively here, especially with the minutes. He's projected for 27 minutes today, and again, we've seen it when he gets that minutes, a whole lot of green here. Now, taking a look at the entire season when he's seeing those many minutes, we can see 20 minutes. This turns into a 63% hit rate, but I want to be looking at games where Gafford's playing, where Luka's playing, where Kyrie's playing. All those guys are going to impact the way he plays. And it still looks really good. So Kyrie, Gafford, those guys are pretty much the same player. And the way the Mavs are playing these guys is, hey, Gafford's out, Lively's in, you're fresh and ready to go, and you play the exact same way. Lob threats at the rim. If they get into drop coverage like they continue to do, they're just going to continue to go over the top of Rudy Gobert, and they're going to, just get dunk over dunk like we saw many times in game one. Great games from Gafford and Lively in that first game. So 65% hit rate, and you see a whole lot of green recently. I didn't add this up, but looks like 8 of the last 10 games. Maybe I can just go to last 10 games. 8 of the last 10 games, these are all playoff games except for this Sacramento that Lively's seeing 20 minutes. He's getting over this line. Now you see this one outlier game, and it was absolutely an outlier. We talked about his 72% field goal percentage. How about 1 for 7 from Lively? That is a complete outlier. That is not going to happen very often, and that's one of the reasons he went over. And then the one other game, he still shot pretty poorly, 3 of 7, which again is not his typical shooting percentage, and he just hooked there, 15 points. If you're on Underdog, again, we're at 15.5 for the PRA. So really, really liking Lively, especially considering he's projected for 27 minutes. If Gafford gets into foul trouble, a bunch of different things going into this play. And the fact that you just, again, watch this game, they get they do the pick and roll, they get Rudy Gobert into that drop coverage, and they continue to do that drop coverage. It might be an adjustment throughout their defensive scheme to have, Rudy Gobert jump that pass a little bit more, but I think Lively is still, keen enough to dive to the rim and be able to get some dunks there. So I really like Lively altogether in this one, and it's cool to see that, 15.5, 16.5, I really don't care either way, but it is fun to line shop, and you can see on the sportsbook screen, all these books now, it's 15.5, Sleeper up at 17.5, a couple other books at 16.5. So they really don't know where to place this line, and it's probably because he's a rookie in the playoffs. But I'm going to roll the dice here. Hopefully he doesn't get into foul trouble. And seeing 20 minutes plus, it's been a really, really good hit rate, especially in the playoffs, which he just continues to get better. So really liking Derek Lively here. A rookie, it's hard to trust him in the playoffs, but again, like I just said, he's been super consistent, and that's going to be our second play of the day. 15.5 PRA. 16.5 PRA on PrizePicks, but if you were smart, you go to Underdog and take this over at 15.5. And sometimes when I continue to rant like that, I forget to mention things that I really wanted to point out. His rebounding has been incredible the past few games as well, and you can see the rebound chances have been incredible. They're putting him in a position to rebound the ball. He can get offensive rebounds, as you can see if I show that, which is right here. 4 offensive rebounds in back-to-back games, at least 3 in the past 6 or 5 games in a row. He's got at least 3 offensive rebounds. So the rebound chances have been there. 17-27 in game 6 against OKC, and then 21 in game 1 against Minnesota. So I love the rebounding potential and also the assist potential. We saw him, in the pick and roll or in the give and go with Luka. He did it a few times in that game 1, but also offensive rebound, kick out to the guy in the 3. He does that really well as well. So I'm really liking Derek Lively. I don't think a lot of people are going to be on him, but he did play really well in game 1, and when he gets the time, I love that. Love the line for him. All right, then moving along to our next play. This is going to be a PrizePicks exclusive play. Again, check the link in the description. It's code RichPicks if you want to get that 100% deposit match and tail these plays. I'm going to a dunks line here and really excited about this one. How about Rudy Gobert? 2.5 dunks. I don't know what just happened to the other plays, but 2.5 dunks for Rudy Gobert. Really, really liking this potential. At home, he is a monster and usually gets at least 3 dunks. So we're going to see this. We talked about it in the last video, but again, huge height advantage for these guys. I know Lively's pretty big, but he is a rookie. He's a little bit skinnier. And Gobert definitely has the size advantage. Karl-Anthony Towns has the size advantage over PJ Washington, whoever's going to be down low for the power forward position on the Mavs side of things. So there's definitely a size discrepancy here. And Gobert's the biggest guy in the court, and he's going to show it, I think, like he did in game 1, where he had 3 dunks in a mediocre game for him in a loss too. So we're at home. 22.5 dunks is the line, and we see it's a nice 64% hit rate for the entire year. Now you see the playoffs. Some of these games looks like he went 5 games in a row without hitting this line. But I talked about the little oomph he gets at playing at home. How about 64 to 73% of the time, including a lot of these playoff games? He's only missed this line twice at home in the playoffs so far this year, and he had 2 dunks in those games. Now I want to talk about the minutes here as well. So looking again for the full year, 34.4 minutes, but some of these games obviously 23, 28, even in the playoffs, 26, 29 in those blowouts against Denver. They got blown out in this game, only played 27 minutes. They destroyed Denver. In this game, only played 29 minutes, and that was one of the games. That was one of the. This was one of the games that he missed. So if you tick up those minutes, he's been getting at least 35 minutes in games that have been close. But so I'll take the side up, and you're going to see the hit rate just continue to rise, especially in these recent games, which are all playoff games. Even at least 33 minutes, 82% hit rate, including only missing 1 game at home in the playoffs. So really, really liking this Gobert play, and the fact that watching these games, he does have that size advantage. He can go in there, dunk a ball. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the first play of the game, a Rudy Gobert dunk. So really liking this one. Again, this is probably only available on PrizePicks. I haven't seen dunk lines really anywhere else, but they're always fun to bet on, especially if you're taking the over. And yeah, really liking Gobert. 2.5 dunks. Can't show you odds or anything like that because, again, they're not on different books. But just the eye test and the hit rates looking really good at home. So now I want to talk a little bit about my leans, not official plays, but something I'm thinking about for some other players and just what I think on this game. But before I do that, I do want to shout out the Discord community. If you're at this point in the video, I think you'd have a lot of fun in our Discord. We're always talking sports, talking props, talking plays. Doesn't matter if it's NBA, MLB, esports. We have every single night. We have a guy in here that's been posting a bunch of plays for there, and he's been killing. I think he hit a 6-man today, actually. But also just like WNBA, whatever it might be, we're always talking, value and looking for good plays. And there's a lot of people in here that are sharing their own slips. So we got some seasoned chefs, guys that are been in here for a long time, and also guys that are specific to certain sports, soccer, esports, whatever it might be. You can always share your own slips. You can ask questions. I'm always in this chat talking to other people. And when the games start, we're always sweating out the plays. We'll have a lot of fun. If a guy's not playing well, we'll kind of crap on him a little bit. But also at the same time, if we're playing well and we're doing well, we're going to celebrate in here together. So it's a lot of fun, and you just got to use the link in the description. It's a Dub Club link, and you subscribe through Dub Club, and then just connect your Dub Club account to, go to your account settings on Dub Club and connect your Dub Club account to your Discord account, and then you'll automatically have access to this once you use the Discord. It's very quick. You can do it in like 3 minutes, but there's plenty of ways to get in here for free. You can see it in the description down below. I talked about it a few times. PrizePicks, Underdog, Chalkboard, Sleeper, Dabble, all my favorite DFS platforms. You're going to get deposit matches when you sign up. You're also going to get access to a free square on a few of these different websites. Sleeper's got a protected play today for all users. PrizePicks has Flex Friday, a protected play. So there's perks of being on different DFS platforms other than just line shopping, which, again, we saw that perfect example, the Derek Lively line today. So a win-win-win. When you sign up using my code or my link, description down below, I get a little bit kicked back my way. I give it right back via a free month. So you can get up to 6 free months as the plane goes overhead. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but you can get up to 6 free months if you sign up for all of these. And then DG Fantasy, which is one of my favorite tools, also applies for that. So I think you have a lot of fun in here. Definitely check us out, and we'd love to have you. We're always talking different lines. And then the leans that I have for this game, again, they're not official video picks. They're something I still want to look a little bit more into before I put something down of my own on it. But it's going to be PJ Washington today for the Dallas Mavericks. Now, I went to Derek Lively today because they had so much success getting Gobert into that drop coverage on the pick and roll, and then just lobbing over the top, whether it was to Gafford or Lively. If their defensive scheme switches and they really attack that and make the right adjustments to limit that a little bit more, I think we're going to see a lot more driving kicks to an open, probably PJ Washington, for a few more threes. They did not shoot well from 3 at all last game. They didn't shoot a whole bunch of them either, but Washington did put up 8 of them, only made 2, and his points line is only at 12.0. So if he knocks down 3 threes or something like that, that points line is looking very gettable for me. And, we saw Kyrie Irving coming out so hot. We saw Luka Doncic finish the game super hot. They're going to have to make a defensive adjustment, and I think they can. As the Timberwolves, they are the best defense in the postseason, in the whole season as a whole, and I think they're going to be capable of doing that. So I think they'll live with PJ Washington, Derek Jones Jr. being open over on the 3-point line, but I think PJ is going to knock a few of those down today. So PJ Washington could be a good lean, either his 3-point line or just his points line. I don't love his rebounding today. I know a lot of people are on that, but I think it's just 12.0 points line. If you can find it at 11.5, even better. And then in terms of the game as a whole, I think I like the Mavericks in the spot plus 5.5, just because they shot so poorly from the 3-point line, as I just talked about. They didn't shoot a ton of threes. That's kind of been the moral of the story throughout the playoffs. If you hit more threes, if you shoot more threes, they've been winning these games in the playoffs. Doesn't matter what team it's been, but the Mavericks figured out a way to do that. On the other side of things, we did not see a big Anthony Edwards game. We did not see a big Karl Anthony Towns game. So I think we're going to get a good matchup here. Again, another close game. I think this is going to be a long series. I don't think the Mavs, maybe not even win this game, but I think they can cover a 5.5 point spread. I'm excited for the game. It's going to be a lot of fun. But if the Mavericks are hitting their threes, if they're shooting a lot more threes, if they're giving them open threes to these role players and the role players step up for the Mavs, I think the Timberwolves could be in trouble. But they just got to go to the rim. It's going to be an interesting adjustment for both sides, and I'm excited to see it. So those are kind of my leans, but the official video picks, again, Rudy Gobert 2.5 dunks. That's only going to be available on PrizePicks. Then we got Derek Lively 16.5 PRA, but I've said it multiple times. This is available at 15.5 PRA on Underdog. Codes in the description if you want to sign up for Underdog. They got live lines and different things like that as well. And then Anthony Edwards, we just talked about him. Didn't go to the rim much at all in that first game, whether he was tired or maybe a lingering injury. But they're going to need him to tie this series back up, heading back to Dallas. And I think he shoots a decent amount, and I think we see him going to the rim. So if he knocks down 5 threes again, that would be incredible for us. But we saw the rebounding potential. We saw the assist potential. Even when he wasn't scoring, he almost hit this PRA line. So, you know, he needs to do his normal scoring. If he gets 25 to 30 points, I think this line's looking really, really good for us. But that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, we went over 3 official video picks, but also gave my thoughts on the game in general and some leans that I have. But I'm expecting another really good game. I think this is going to be a really, really good series. Hopefully a nice long series as well, because these teams are a lot of fun to watch. One team's very offensive, the other team super defensive. It's going to see, you know, who ultimately wins that battle, offense versus defense. A lot of adjustments coming for game 2, and yeah, super excited about it. Again, leave the video a like, comment something down below if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you are new. Also, check out the Discord, link in the description for all these DFS platforms. I really appreciate all you. I'll be back tomorrow for some more NBA. We're going to be talking Pacers Celtics game 3. We got to get news on Halliburton. Look out for Siakam points lines. I think it's at like 21.5. If Halliburton doesn't play, that Siakam line's looking really good as a guy who's played really well against the Celtics. So we'll talk about that more tomorrow, but I'll see you guys in the next video, or if you're in the Discord, we'll talk in there. Peace out.